Hello, everybody. Hold on. Let me check my. Check my channel real quick. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna be reacting to some stuff today. Just hoping that people come and join in and, because I got some stuff to talk about. And one of the things I want to talk about here is, let me go to YouTube here. It's been a while. It's been a while since I made streams. It's been a while since I've reacted to stuff. It's been a while since I've done literally anything here. Yeah, it's been a while. Activision is trying to take my channel down. I think we should react to this because knowing the Ghost of 8 and knowing how, I don't know, I don't agree with his politics. But that's beside anything, to be honest. I mean, it's just another bullshit video where he just like sits there and he gets mad about Activision. But it's like all fake. That's beside anything, to be honest. Oh, that's fine. But yeah, we're gonna be reacting to this, and I don't know how the streamers have like the chat on the side. I don't know how to do that. Maybe it must be another kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to ask Grace how how to do that shit, because I don't know how to do that shit. She probably knows how to do it. I don't know how to do that shit. Or anybody who does streaming, like, in that way. Hold on. Let's turn it back to, like, after the intro.
Years being critical of the Call of Duty franchise, the developers, and the community, and I am catching a lot of heat and getting strikes on my channel from Activision for bogus reasons, and now we are sitting at a troubling time. What is going on is this. I have been making Call of Duty videos, as I just stated, negative about the franchise and the community and the developers. And Activision is going...
Hold on. Because that was pretty bad.
Activision is going around and false copyright striking videos and taking them down and having them removed from YouTube under false pretenses, which is actually illegal. But unfortunately, because Activision...
I want to see what's evidence for this.
Because Activision and Blizzard is $1 billion corporations, my recourse is kind of limited at this point, and there's not a whole lot I can do but just sit here and hope that Activision decides to not totally take my channel down. But I have had 2 copyright strikes, false copyright strikes, on videos in the last 6 months. The first one I had was about Modern Warfare 3 Season 2 or whatnot, and it was just a Call of Duty.
You want me to bet that it's just YouTube itself and it's not actually Activision who's like having their crummy hands on, like, you know, trying to take down channels? Because I mean, hey, that's what YouTube does. They just go after random channels and just, you know, false or copyright strike down videos and channels and whatnot. I don't think this is an Activision thing. I think it's just YouTube being what it is. It's a bullshit platform. I don't think it has anything to do with Activision. But people somehow still in the modern day still believe that Activision is, I don't know, that Activision is just going after any multi-billion-dollar or whatever, not these channels, is what I meant to say. I just don't. Let's just see if he provides evidence for this, which this video is pretty lengthy. I don't know, he just says a lot of nothing, but we'll watch a little more of it.
For 3, gameplay. There is nothing that is copyright strikeable. There is nothing that was wrong with the video. It was me being critical of Season 2 of Modern Warfare 3, and they removed it and struck it down. Now, since then, that strike has expired, but most recently, about a month or 2 ago, I got another copyright strike from Activision about a video exposing the hackers and cheaters in Modern Warfare 3. And that video was, like I said, taken down and removed from Activision and Blizzard themselves. The corporation was Activision Blizzard. That was their contact information they gave me. And the video was removed for copyright purposes. And on that video, it was nothing more than just a simple Call of Duty gameplay video talking about the cheaters and hackers in Modern Warfare 3. And none of these videos I have up.
Let me do something else real quick. I haven't done this in a while. Like I said, y'all. I haven't done this in a while. So let me make a post. Alright, let's see the rest of them. Not the rest of the video, but like a part, like parts of it.
Loaded have any copyright material material that isn't supposed to be shown. It isn't early gameplay for Black Ops 6 or any other Call of Duty. There is nothing wrong with these videos, and every single copyright strike that Activision has put on my channel is actually illegal. They are breaking the law because...
How do you know if it's Activision going after your channel? You haven't really... maybe this could be a clickbait video. I'm thinking it could be just clickbait, and maybe I got duped, but I look at the comment section. It's always the same people who just like, you're not going to stop buying COD. They've got you over a barrel. I think this video is a joke because I don't think Ghost of A is that dumb to think that Activision is gonna try to take down a 70k subscriber channel. Do you think Activision really cares about these small channels? No, they don't care at all. They really don't care. They have bigger fish to fry and to go after these rinky-dinky channels. All they do is just hate on Call of Duty every year. They don't give a fuck. It's YouTube. It clearly is YouTube. If it was really Activision, and if Activision's just going out of their way aimlessly to take down channels, yeah, there could be something there. But nothing has happened. You're just gonna make this video, and then nothing's gonna happen, and it's just gonna be another crappy video on your channel. That's basically what this is. But I'm not gonna play the rest of the video. I'm just gonna go play, like in this part, because I feel like it's just kind of just dragging.
I don't. I'm just a small-time YouTuber and don't have a lot of money, unlike, a billion-dollar corporation like Activision, who could kick my ass in court, because at the end of the day, the justice system favors those with money. And at this time,
that's one thing I agree with them on. They always favor the ones who have the most amount of money. That's just it's fucking rigged system. But again, where's the proof of Activision trying to take down your channel? Because I heard the same thing. Legit, I heard the same thing from Blame Truth, and he's yet to provide proof of this. It's just conspiracy theory, like usual. It's just fucking conspiracy theories. It's not really. There isn't really any basis to what he's saying. It's just, Activision is going after my channel, and that's it. Ain't nothing else. It's just that. And that's not enough. You have to really provide at least something, at least an indication of something. Like, maybe there's something here, maybe there's something there. But it's always drawing dots or making connections that aren't there to then prove a point that, like, oh yeah, Activision's actually going after my channel because I'm spitting facts, which is pretty fucking stupid, if you ask me. And not only that stupid, it's just being dishonest for the sake of obviously for the sake of views. Not because of the fact that you care about Call of Duty. It's just for views. Like, stop acting like you're morally trying to, or not morally, but like trying to take down Activision and expose them and all. You don't really care that much. I don't think he really cares that much, but yeah, I feel like this is a bait or a joke video. I know it's not. I know that the strikes are not fake. But I feel like him saying that, like, Activision is going after his channel, it just seems like baiting. It just seems like baiting or whatever. Like, of course, I don't know. It's just kind of baiting. I gotta be careful with some of these channels because I don't know what it is, man. I've wanted to react to this video's kind of this drama's kind of old and kind of died off, but I'm gonna show you like pieces of it so you can have your like opinion on the whole.
So this video was created by this guy named Orthodox Caretaker, and his whole personality is him being an Orthodox Christian. The video I'm going over is why atheism is not the way to move forward. In his thumbnail, you have a transgender woman who is named Eden Knight, who committed suicide with a gun next to her head, saying atheism is not the way to move forward. How nice, right? Anyways, let's see how amazing this video is.
I'm gonna have to get this rushed up door, because like while I was like making a bigger video and exporting it, I lost the entire file.
When making a controversial video, maybe you should actually work on the video. If it gets corrupted, maybe work on it better than a 3-minute video of you calling trans people and gay people predators.
I can't you not. I literally lost the entire file, so I'm probably gonna have to summarize what's going on. So I'm just gonna summarize it here and real quick for you. The reason I think that atheism is not the way to move forward is that it is moralist.
Believing in a religion or not believing in a religion doesn't make you moralist, okay? It makes you someone who doesn't believe in a religion. I'm not.
That's very true. That's very true. Just because being an atheist is like, here's the thing, like, the argument is more like if you're not religious, or if you're not Christian, then you have no morals. If you're an atheist, you have no morals, which is like really a dumb thing to say, because you can get morals from, for example, your parents. You can get morals from understanding that if you were to harm somebody any way, shape, or form, whether if it's mental or physical, you know that doing that thing is bad. There are people who are mentally ill who can't comprehend that reality, but that doesn't mean that everybody who is not, an Orthodox Christian, or just a Christian in general, or religious in general, I guess just doesn't have morals, right? That's what's called a fallacy. So for him to use this argument as like to be like I gotcha, it's so fucking dumb.
Right? I'm still agnostic, but my parents are atheists, and I still got taught morals, right? My morals don't come from my religion, it comes from my parents teaching me what is right and wrong, and what the school system teaches me is right and wrong.
And yeah, you don't just learn on your own as well. I mean, there are things you probably don't know as a kid that you should know, right? There are things like, do not steal or do not touch somebody without somebody's consent, right? They teach you those things to not, how can I say it? When you touch somebody, maybe that person might not want to be touched, and they will express in a way to get you to understand they don't want to be touched, right? So when a responsible adult teaches you to say, hey, don't do this and don't do that, and they explain why you don't do these things, you have a more proper understanding as to why you don't do the things that you're told not to do. Now, of course, it depends. If they tell you, oh, don't watch this channel because I say so, then that's not really anything. They're just telling you not to watch something, or not to watch a channel because they say so. That doesn't really mean much or anything like that. But so far, this kid, which I'm pretty sure you already know the name from the beginning, dog shit points. The fact they tried to use that as an argument was so dumb. It was so dumb, flat in his face. To use that as an argument, to try to imply that you have to be a Christian to have morals, when it's already been established that you don't have to have, you don't have to be Christian to have morals. You don't have to be religious in general to have morals. You just have morals. You learn it from either somebody else, or from understanding that if you were to harm somebody else physically or mentally, you understand that you shouldn't do it. Sometimes with kids, it takes a lot for them to understand, but when you're close to being an adult, or when you're already an adult, you kind of get the idea of there are things that you should and should not do. So it's part of being human. You learn how to be a respectful, considerate human being over time, and you can learn how to be a good person in a religion. Doesn't mean that you have to necessarily become Christian to be a good person, right? There are a lot of Christians who and I'm not trying to use this as only just exclusively for Christians, but there are people who are religious who believe in different gods or whatnot that still do bad things anyway. So to use that as a gotcha, as oh, all the atheists and all the agnostics are just immoral and they have no moral ground or anything. It's a ridiculous thing to even say and to even think.
If you need a religion to tell you what is right and wrong, I think you need to get it checked out because that's pretty flawed.
What I mean by that is that it basically has no morals, no objective values, no nothing.
I think if you walked up to an atheist guy and a Christian guy and you both asked him, hey, is murder wrong? They're probably going to say yes. I'm also willing to bet some Christians would say murder is okay if it was in the Bible, which is, lack of morals.
The reason as to why I would say that, the presuppositions of atheism cannot even explain as to how we got our beginning in morality and stuff.
I would say a lot of atheists believe in the Big Bang, and also, I just told you how we get our morals.
And also, it also doesn't even explain the full picture, it just relies more on speculation.
You're talking about science, right? You're talking about how science is more speculation rather than religion, even though religion is all in faith and not facts.
Exactly. That's where Christians lose me, because I understand believing in it. I understand that everybody has their own beliefs. I'm not like out here being like, you can't be religious because I'm not an asshole. But if you're trying to say that real science is speculation, then I don't know. I guess only Christianity can be the only true thing, even though a lot of the stuff that's in there is just a bunch of made-up stories. Like there really isn't any evidence in terms of like physical, tangible evidence that all these events happened in that era. So I don't know, because Christians have been accustomed to believing that, like, oh, you don't have to have evidence, you don't have to have physical, tangible evidence that these events happen. Hence, doesn't have to prove God's existence. You just believe through faith, and that's it. That's way too simple, and that's way too easy to just ignore all the facts surrounding it, and then just calling it true because you feel that it's true. And every time I hear people say, I feel that's true because I felt the Holy Spirit, it's your feelings. It's not the reality. It's not the truth. It's not anything. It's just the way you feel, which is okay if you believe in God, if you practice the Bible. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying don't try to use that as like to be like, oh, you don't believe in God, so you're immoral and you're a piece of garbage and you shouldn't, you waste space or whatever they want to throw at you to make you feel guilty for not being Christian, because that's what they do. They make you feel guilty, they make you feel bad for not being a Christian, and that's just what they do. So it's just it's not okay. It's just not okay to do that. It's not okay to go after people and tell them that, like, oh, if you're a Christian, then if you're not a Christian, then that's like somehow bad. That's somehow terrible. But yeah.
So far are pretty dog shit, I'm gonna be honest.
That's why you hear more of like the "we come from monkeys" argument, even though it's very stupid and absurd.
We are ancestors to chimpanzees and bonobos.
I want to get this out of the way. I'm not trying to attack him, but I'm addressing his arguments, right? I'm addressing his arguments. I think the video was privated. I don't think he ever deleted it. He privated the video because I guess for some reason he wanted to keep it, like, so that he can watch it himself. I don't know for what reason. I don't know. Maybe he thought it was facts, but I guess it was just too real for people to like handle it, I guess. So that's probably why he kept it. But so far, the first point was dumb, because he's trying to imply that if you're not Christian, then you don't have morals. And I forgot what was the second one. I almost forgot, low-key.
I'm pretty sure what this guy is doing is denying evolution right now. This guy might be the next Nick Fuentes.
Like, the whole philosophical thinking of atheism is a absurd...
The actual video itself was 3 minutes and 17 seconds of just him, because, like he said in the first part of the video, he was planning to make an even bigger project, and then all his files got big corrupted, and then now he's making a 3 minutes, a 17-second video. which is like, come on, man. Like, if you know, if you knew, and I don't know, I might just end it in like this part because I don't want to get to like the LGBTQ stuff, because I feel like that's where it leads to that, like around here it leads to that. But I feel like so far he's just like shitting on people who are not Christian. That's why I feel like I don't think it's just exclusively towards like, I would say it's more pointed towards like atheists and like agnostics, because you know, obviously if you're an atheist, that means you hate God somehow, or whatever. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe some atheists might hate God. I don't know. That's not in every case though. That's not in every. A lot of times, people who become atheists is because they look into things. They look into the Bible. They look into like, well, is there any, you know, proof for God's existence? Is there any documents? Is there any like findings of his dead body, or whatever the case may be? And if there's no evidence of his resurrection, there's no evidence for Noah's Ark, there's no evidence for David and Goliath, there's no evidence for what's the other one called? Because there's a lot of stories in that book. The ones that I know of is Noah and the Ark, David and Goliath. I forgot what the other one was. Because I know there was another one that happened after Adam and Eve. And then there was, of course, Moses, right? There's no evidence for Moses saving all the Jewish people from being enslaved in Egypt. I don't know, maybe slavery did happen, but I don't think it happened in the way that it was interpreted in the Bible. I don't know. It's just not like, there's not really enough evidence for that, really. I'm gonna look into all that stuff. I'm gonna look into all of it, like, to really look into all that. I'm not gonna go to like any random site. I have to like look into like really what happened with all that. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, scientists haven't really found evidence for all that, and for him to sit here and then basically just be like, anybody who's not Christian is immoral, is just ridiculous to say. I don't know what else to tell you, but like, you're stepping on that kind of like that territory that you shouldn't step on. If you were to make videos about like, I don't know, being an Orthodox Christian, or reading like, basically like reading into the Bible, like the book and whatnot, I'll be cool with that. I don't really care. It's his channel. Like, at the end of the day, it's his channel. I'm not really gonna be like, oh, you can't make this content because I don't agree with it. But like, if you want to go down this route of like shitting on people who are not Christian, like atheists, agnostics, and real scientists, and then shitting on LGBTQ people because they're all pedophiles because of a couple of bedtime stories that his mom probably read to him, like, you're heading into that kind of anti-SJW territory that you shouldn't get into, because you're going to be known for that, which is not good. It's not good in your resume and just in general. Because, like, say for example, if you were to get a job at like a customer service job, right? They're gonna look at this, maybe this video, maybe a couple other videos that you've made, or posts that you made on your platform. Or if you were to go, say, for a government job or whatever job it is, and they do a background check, and they find you saying stuff like this, they probably be like, nah, this guy's not. It's not it. This guy's not it, bro. Yeah, you gotta be careful what you say, because especially when it comes to seeking for jobs as well, you know, like, you don't want to give the companies bad PR. If you're working for a company, you don't want a company to have bad PR. You want to be able to work in that place and to follow all the policies that are in that business and whatnot.
Thinking.
Atheism is just thinking that there's no God, there's no higher power. How is that absurd?
Just like a liberalistic person spreading extreme gay propaganda.
So what this guy does is bring up points to politics now, not even religion, it's political now. He gets political for no reason, and that's going to be the rest of this video.
That is a part of this homosexuality degeneracy.
Is this guy even going to make sense? This guy just makes no sense all day, every day?
Lustful degeneracy.
Lustful degeneracy. Yeah. You know, in your Bible, you know, the Orthodox Bible actually says that being gay isn't a sin. It's the lustful part of it being a sin.
I think this is where I'm probably gonna stop, because there's a lot of stuff that he says that I'm just like, I don't know if I can even go further, because yeah, he says a lot of really bad stuff later on. Like he like I mentioned before, he tried to make a really, really crazy, bold claim that like all LGBTQ people are all pedophiles because of a couple of bedtime stories that he heard. I'm not like, look, hey bro, I'm not denying that there are people who are LGBTQ or are pedophiles. Like there are a good number of them, but to like to try to lump them in the rest of the people in that community who don't do that stuff, who are like, I shouldn't do it with kids because it's not morally correct to do so. I think that it's just grossly dishonest. And in fact, like, you're just showing your true colors, bro. Because this kid really showed his true colors in this entire 3 minute and 17-second video. Because that's exactly the amount of time that he took to ramble on about how being agnostic or an atheist is immoral. There's no moral, what's the word for that? Like, you don't have a moral mindset, basically. And then he goes on about LGBTQ people, how that's degeneracy, and how that's how that's fun stuff, right? The fun stuff that people do. And it's just not okay to be saying, bruh. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, man, you do you. You go around making this kind of and that's a funny thing too. Let me go to my homie's channel right here, real quick. My homie channel. Yeah, I told her congrats on her 4K subscribers, because that's awesome. That's great. I wish I had those numbers that she's pulling right now. Let me go to her post. Definitely not these. These are the because she exposed a pedophile. Wait a minute. It was this one. It was definitely this one. A post from Graceful. But yeah, it was this one. I don't want to go further with that video because it was really fucking bad. But yeah, here we go. Can I look at it? Can I like zoom it in? Can I zoom it in? Yeah. I think I can zoom it in. I think. No, I can't zoom it in. What the fuck, man? But basically, he says to Graceful that he will make a video on Muslims, right? He's gonna make it basically the same video that he made on, like, atheists and agnostics, how they're all just, they don't have morals, and how LGBTQ people don't have morals. He's gonna do the exact same thing with Muslims. And of course, Graceful calls him out and says, the textbook definition of spreading propaganda is what you're doing. You're basically, what you're doing is you're spreading propaganda for, like, against, marginalized groups. And of course, I think I posted here. I don't think maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I said something here, probably, maybe, I don't know. No, I don't think so. But yeah, it was bad. And he said death to Israel, which is like, and he said the N-word in a different language. Very nice, very, very, very kind individual. Definitely not, being an example of like a racist, even homophobe. I just wish that he would like not do this kind of stuff, because you know it's not cool. You know, he does have a chance in changing. Like, he's not like he's like 24 years old and like you should already figure it out. Like, he still has some time to change, right? I feel like even at age 24 you can like change your mind, be like, you know what, maybe me making these kind of videos is not okay. Maybe I should just stick to just like, if I don't know enough about something, I should just stick to what I know, and then maybe I can learn about these things and come to a conclusion where I have a proper understanding of what I'm talking about, instead of just repeating and regurgitating the same arguments over and over and over again until somebody, makes a video and basically calling me out and saying, hey, you're kind of dumb for making these kind of points. So it's mostly about being careful what you say and not going full mask off. This is very easy, very simple, basic shit that you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be going mask off. You should be going mask on. But no, you shouldn't be making that kind of content, especially when it's hate content towards, again, marginalized groups. His entire channel could have gotten a strike if he kept that video up. If a bunch of people watch this video, right? His 3-minute and 17-second video, right? If a lot of people were to like go to his channel and then report it, his channel would have gotten striked. I'm gonna be real with you. He would have gotten a strike on his channel. If he kept that video up, if a bunch of people. And it's just not okay behavior, and he should just not do that again. I'm not too hard on him because he's young, and when you're young, like, sometimes you want to be edgy, sometimes you want, being edgy in general, no matter what age you are, I feel like being edgy is just not cool, at least even these days, because like, being edgy and being all of that is just like you being like an ass, and that's not okay. Of course, if you know that somebody's wrong and you're very knowledgeable in what you're talking about, then of course talk about what you know what you're talking about, right? But if you're gonna go out of your way to like make hate content and then try to profit off of that, some people are gonna think you're just trying to rage bait for views. Some people might think that these are your genuine opinions, which, I'm gonna be honest, the video that he made about about atheists, agnostics, LGBTQ people, these are his genuine opinions, by the way, because I spoke to him, I remember at one point, and yeah, he didn't express it like mask off, but in the video he went full mask off. I don't know who he's hanging around. I don't know if he's hanging around people who are like fucking like racist pieces of shit homophobes. I don't know. That I have no idea. But the fact that he's like going out of his way, and the worst part about it, which is probably another reason as to why he privated the video, which is like, why would you do that? You should have just deleted it as a whole, like just removed it from your entire channel. Because basically the video is still in his channel, it's just you can't see it because it's private. So the video's still there. I guess it's best to be that way, but I don't know. I don't know. I find it to be kind of strange that he would do that. Like, just keep it up, like, but like private. But the worst part about it, as you see the thumbnail right there, the trans person that he put, and Graceful mentioned this in the video, the trans person that he put in the video was she actually committed suicide. And that's the worst part about it, is that you put a picture of a person who committed suicide, and then put a gun, like you cropped a gun in front of this individual because you have a disdain for them because they exist. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't get that kind of behavior. It's just like I don't. I don't understand how people these days are so comfortable with like being like, oh, being, you know, if you're trans, that means you're degenerate, and it's like they're just like, most of them are just like normal. They're just going on with their day. They, you know, obviously they dress the way they dress, and they act the way they act. I don't see the problem. I don't really see the problem with them, you know, existing, being among society, and just mind. They just mind their own business and they do their own thing. Like I don't get what's the issue. You know. So that's what I really want to talk about. You know, there might be a video that I might react to as well, like another one before I clock out. But I love the internet, bro. The internet is always some shit going on. There's always people who want to, like, you know, always people saying the most dumbest shit ever on YouTube. People always saying really dumb shit, and they get called out on it, and it's just like, you know, yeah. I don't want to get too political. I just want to talk about that, you know, like, to mention it, and then like be like, that's not okay to spread hateful content on YouTube. I mean, it, like, here's the thing, man. If you want to make anti-SJW channel like videos and whatnot, the best way to do it is to not come off as like you're hitting on marginalized groups, right? So you talk about how companies are using diversity to like push an agenda, right? That makes it less obvious, not too less obvious, but at least less obvious enough of like you just straight up hating on like certain groups. You're like low key about it, right? But the kid went full mask off, and it didn't work out for him. You know, he just went all his way to be like, oh, all LGBTQ people are pedophiles. Which is like, you can't just say that. It's like if you were to say that all Haitians eat cats and dogs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not something that you just say out, just like, you know, towards a group of you know, Haitians or whatever, like Haitian people. So like I said, bro, like, if you want to make videos like that, you gotta be smart about it. You can't, you know, going full mask off and then call it a day. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about, to be honest. Like, yeah, I don't know what to talk about. Let's see what else I can talk about. What else? I have a thing to like see the chat, because I don't know how to see the chat. I have so much political garbage here that I just don't know where to put. let me see something about iPhone 16 because I want to talk about. Hold on, I want to talk about the iPhone 16 a little bit because I actually have one. I haven't have the iPhone 16 currently. I don't think it even matters what color it is. It's just it's the same phone. Like it's literally all the same phone. It's the same goddamn phone. They have durability tests. They have just looking a week later, 1 week later, 1 month later, 1 generation later, 1 decade. Well, I'll say 1 decade later, 1 million years later. Let me see, bro. That's a 15 plus review. I don't know. I feel like the iPhone 16 is the same as the last one. I don't know. Well, not exactly. Like the design is a little bit different. Like the design, I think it's like following that kind of like the older iPhone design, like the camera design. 1 week after forgot. Wait, iPhone 16 after 1 week forgot the Pro. Well, forget the Pro is what it meant. Let's see that real quick.
The iPhone 16 did add quite a few Pro features this year, like the action button, macro photography, spatial photos and videos, amongst other things. And in many areas, actually outperforms the iPhone 15 Pro from last year. Today, I'm going to dig into those details and really my whole experience with the iPhone 16 over the last week. What's new this year, what's good, what's bad, and some surprising things that I found along the way. So if you're interested in the iPhone 16, maybe you're on the fence about buying one, or you can't decide if it's worth picking up, stick around and let's get into it. This video was sponsored by Taurus. Hey everyone, Kyle Erickson here. Over the past couple of years, Apple has released the regular iPhone as kind of a dumbed down version of the Pro from the previous year. There's always been one less camera lens and an aluminum housing instead of steel or titanium, and the new design features and chip updates that come out on the Pro have historically taken a year to make their way to the regular iPhone. But this year that isn't quite the case. The chipset in the 16 skipped a generation and is actually more performant than the 15 Pro. You've got new controls that came out alongside the 16 Pro, more advanced charging options, updated Wi-Fi.
Well, I will give the 16 one thing, which is I wish I had more storage for the. I wish I had like maybe 256 gigabytes. I'll be real, 128 goes like quick nowadays with the fucking taking pictures and all that, and downloading a bunch of whatever it is, right? Downloading a bunch of stuff in general. But the best part about this phone is the fact that you can play like console games on this. I'm not even joking, bro. Like the 16 and the, I think the 15 too as well, maybe. But in the 16, you can play Resident Evil on there, like the latest ones. I think it's from. They're releasing Resident Evil 2 remake on there, I think. They have Resident Evil 8 Village. They have Resident Evil 7 on the newer iPhones, and also the latest iPads and shit. And it's very fast. It's very, 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 very fast phone. I mean, I know people say every year a new iPhone is very fast because it's like brand new. But this iPhone is crazy fast. You don't understand how fast this phone is. It's a super fast phone, and that's good. It makes everything more snappy, more smooth. It's not laggy. You know, I feel like there's times with the iPhone 12 Pro that I had, it gets really laggy at times. For once, because I had it for like a long time. And another thing is, it's like old, so it wasn't a bad phone. It was definitely a really, really great phone, and still supported iOS 18 on it, so that was awesome. But yeah, it was just getting really old. I was like, let me just move on to the next iPhone. See what they got here on this new iPhone. Which there's not the only real big difference with the iPhone, which is not really a big difference with the iPhone 16, is the introduction of Apple Intelligence and some other features that they're adding only exclusively to I think the 16 and 15. I think, and maybe I don't think the 14. I think it's just only 15 and 16, because they're kind of like pushing all the other iPhones under the rug and kind of just forgetting about them because they're kind of getting old. And they're doing that with every iPhone every year now. So it's like, iPhone 17 comes out and it's just like they forgot about the. I mean, they're not gonna forget about the most of the other iPhones. They're just gonna eventually drop support for a lot of them, so they can make new iPhones and then support them for a long amount of time until eventually they drop support for those. That's what happens every time. They just drop a new iPhone. It's $800, like $1,000 or some bullshit, and then after that. After you spend $1,000 on a new iPhone, then next year comes new iPhones. The cycle continues.
And in my opinion, this is just a big leap forward. So let's just kick things off by looking at the visual updates. Design-wise, while the iPhone 16 is almost identical from the front and in size and weight to the iPhone 15 with a 6.1-inch display and weighing in at 171 grams, the similarities are fairly limited beyond that. While the model that I have here is black, which was offered last year, you've got a brand new selection of colors to choose from, which to me look a lot better than the previous year. They're actually bright, bold colors versus the muted ones that we saw last year, and it's also got a completely redesigned camera bump. Instead of that squared camera array that was on the 15, you've now got this pill-shaped island that suits the phone a lot better, and the stacked vertical lenses do enable the iPhone to shoot spatial content, which we'll touch on in a bit, but the most notable or impactful changes on the iPhone 16 are along the sides, where you've got two new buttons, the Action button and the Camera Control. The Action button is one of those things that carried over from the 15 Pro, and I have found super handy at times. I've used that for everything from the traditional mute switch to creating notes and launching ChatGPT, as well as third-party camera apps.
Oh, the ChatGPT thing cost money. I don't know how much it costs, but it does cost money for sure to actually have ChatGPT on your iPhone. I forgot what it does though. What does the ChatGPT do? Hold on. Was it GPT? Or GB? Or GB? GPT. iPhone 16. Hold on. Alright. Oh, it's GPT. I'm GP. Hold on, go back. GB. iPhone 16. Yeah. ChatGPT. I'm gonna go to their actual site. No, not showing it here, bruh. No, it's not showing it. What does it do? Let me look it up. The iPhone 16's Apple Intelligence features, which includes ChatGPT, allows users to use ChatGPT text fields to generate text, rewrite text, use text rewrite to improve the tone and structure of an email draft, proofread, use proofreading to correct grammar and sentences or sentence structure and suggest better words, summarize text I think this will be very good for like if you're going to school and then like you're writing something on your phone, it's like on your iPad, and then it proofreads. Like basically, it will go back to all the all this like punctuations and grammar and all that stuff and structure of your words, and it corrects everything because it's basically just AI. That's basically what it is. So I'm understanding now. It's basically just AI. Identifies. Where is it? Okay, so let me read that. I read that part. Summarize text. Use summarized text to shorten writing to the important parts or create a bulleted list or table. Identify text or objects. Use visual intelligence to identify text or objects with the phone's camera and even translate signs in real time. Create events from pictures. Use visual intelligence to create an event from a picture that includes a date and time. Search for similar items. Use the camera to search for similar items like a bike you're looking for. So basically it's for like writing stuff, right? And you can use a camera like it says here. You can use your camera to look for stuff, which is really cool. I like that. I don't know, I feel like there's more with this iPhone. I mean, they could technically add these features on like older iPhones. I don't know if they will do that because they're trying to market a new iPhone, and I think that's what it is. They could have these features, or at least like some of them, on their older iPhones, but they don't want to do that because then you have less incentive to buy the new iPhone 16 because they're trying to give you a reason to buy a new iPhone 16 or the 16 Pro. Because with these features on, say, the iPhone 12, iPhone XR, I think, with iPhone 11, iPhone 13, iPhone 14, etc., if they were to have all these features on those iPhones, including probably not, I don't think the hardware is like really that, it's pretty dated, the hardware, but like the iPhone SE, I think is 3. The SE3 that they're for some reason still selling on the Apple Store until it's like kind of like barren. Like, let me show you all what I'm talking about, bro. Let me show you all what I'm talking about. iPhone SE3. And they're still selling this fucking garbage on the store. Well, it's not garbage. So here's the thing, bro. This phone, if you're looking for an iPhone, but like you're not looking to spend like $1,000, or you're not looking to spend $800 on the iPhone 16, or you're not looking to spend any of that kind of money because you're on a kind of like a cheap, short budget. You don't want Android. You want an iPhone that you can just use it like normally. I think this is the best deal for you, but I don't recommend buying it from Apple themselves because look how much this shit costs. Look at how much this shit costs, guys. It's so baffling that they're still selling this phone in 2024. $429, almost $430. What the fuck is Apple doing, bruh? They're selling this iPhone, which is like, it's not a bad phone. I mean, considering the fact that it's a smooth phone. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's that smooth in iOS 18 because somebody I seen somebody tried an iOS 18 this phone, and it slows down at certain points. At first you're like annoyed, but then you get used to it. It's like whatever, who fucking cares. Let me see, bruh. Yeah, this is what I mean. The iPhone 16 Pro has it. 15 doesn't have Apple Intelligence. It's only the 16 that has Apple Intelligence. I thought that it was the 15 that has it. I guess they're trying to sell the 16 as much as possible, so incentive. But yeah, this phone is close to. It's like on that border, close to that border of being $500, and they're selling this phone, which is not. It's not a bad phone, bro. Look, the only bad thing about it, I would say, performance, battery life is not very good. Also, even though it's advertised as like, the best battery life or whatever, is fucking bullshit. It's HD. It's Retina HD display. It's made out of aluminum and glass. A15 Bionic chip. I mean, look where we're at right now. We're at the A18 Pro chip with 6 cores. This one has 5. That one has 4. Right. So you can't really do much with. I mean, you can do stuff with it. You can do general stuff on this phone, like general browsing, watching videos, listening to music, which I think would be really good for listening to music. Actually, aside from that, it's not for every use. It's just for like to make phone. It's like a how can I say it? In a way, it's kind of like a flip phone, but not really a flip phone because it's a smartphone. It's from Apple. But I would recommend buying from like third party. I recommend buying from like a different place. Obviously, you have to make sure that you're not getting scammed by some random fucking person who's selling it for like $30 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's a little bit too low, in my opinion. But or you can also go. I don't know if Walmart's still selling the iPhone. Because thanks to Straight Talk. Okay, so this is where I get to like the Straight Talk stuff. So apparently in Walmart, you can buy the iPhone SE. You can buy it for a good price. Like I think it's like maybe I have to check. Hold on, I have to check. iPhone SE 3 Walmart. Alright, so if you were to buy the same phone on Walmart, you pay $150, right? Close to $150, alright, plus tax. Alright, so you buy this iPhone. I know I'm taking too much time with talking about the iPhone. Okay, so how this works is you buy this iPhone, you become a customer with Straight Talk within 60 days. After 60 days are over, you basically own the iPhone. Like it unlocks automatically. I guess that's how it works, right? So it's locked within the first 60 days. Once those 60 days pass, you basically own this phone. It's yours for forever. Like there's no contract, there's absolutely nothing. You just get the phone, get the service on it, and if you choose to leave the service, I think you can still leave the service if you want to. You just want to like have no service on it, you can do that and still keep the phone. This is, I think, the best way, and I think if you were to use a calculator, maybe it would be maybe $300 cheaper, like discounting $300, I believe. Yeah, I think it's kind of like discounting the $300 or $200 off, so you don't have to pay almost $500 for this phone. It was good back then when it first came out. It was a really good phone back then when it came out, because Apple, the way that they marketed this phone, it was supposed to be a budget phone, like a affordable phone. That was their market. That was their marketing campaign for this phone. I think it was in 21. But now it's kind of like getting old. The hardware is not up to date. It's outdated. It's not bad for people who want an iPhone but they don't want the most expensive one. This is a really good deal. But in terms of like you're not gonna get a whole lot with this. Like you're not gonna get like anything too crazy with this phone. It's just a phone for regular use, which would have been best for my grandpa, because my grandpa has like a Samsung, which I guess he's sticking with Samsung, but like the newest one, I think it's the S24. But if he wanted to switch back to iPhone, I would say that this would have been the best option for him, in my opinion, because he doesn't really do much. He listens to music and then makes phone calls, and that's pretty much it. I mean, also reads the Bible. I think that's another thing he does, but that's about it. He doesn't do much with the iPhone or like the smart devices. But yeah, like I said, I highly recommend, if you don't want to go through the hassle of having to fucking buy the phone on the Apple Store, because it's basically a fucking scam, in my opinion. You can go through Walmart, buy it through there, or buy it through other other stores, like other other stores that sell this iPhone, right? Or get it refurbished from somewhere else, like a certified area or not, like. Or if you could find one, like if you, for example, you went to like a nearby mall and then they have one there, like a fresh new phone up there, and then they give you a good price for it and you buy it, there you go. You got like basically you got like an iPhone without going to the actual store to buy it because it's a fucking scam. But yeah, I've been using up a lot of time, bro. I might log out soon, but I'm gonna talk about some more stuff with the iPhone 16, and then I'll just log out. Yeah, I'll just log out after this. After like I'll talk about this shit.
And I do think it's a much better use of space than the mute switch that was there previously. My only real complaint with it is I wish there was a little more separation between it and the volume up button, because I often mistake the two for each other, but overall, it has been very useful. The camera control button, on the other hand, is brand new on both the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro, and that sits just along the bottom right-hand side under the power button, and combines both capacitive touch with a physical button along with a haptic engine that controls a variety of...
Now, I've heard one reviewer say that having this button is kind of useless because you can just easily swipe to the camera on your locker screen, which is like, I don't think there's much of a speed difference if you were to use the button for the camera on there as compared to swiping. It's almost identical, the amount of time that it would take to switch slide to the camera on locker screen as compared to like just pressing this button. There's not much of a difference. I think it's a little nitpicky to be like, it takes longer to press a button to go to the camera on the iPhone or whatever. It's just like, there's not that much of a speed difference either way. It's the fucking same. It literally is almost fucking the same. It's like you wouldn't even notice a difference, to be honest. Like, it's just the same shit.
Different camera functions. The button itself sits pretty much flush with the edge of the phone, and I do find that I have to hunt for it a bit without a case on at times, but with a case that has a button cutout, I actually like the way that my thumb rests alongside it, and it does feel like a natural resting position. I
gotta give Apple one thing. I like the animations on the iPhone. I even said that when iOS 18 came out. I love their animations. I love how interactive they are. Like the animations and like the features and whatnot. They really outdone themselves with the animations. I really do like them, in my personal opinion. But I feel like this time around with the iPhone, they're turning more into AI, and they're slowly replacing Siri with Apple Intelligence. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of Siri, because Siri. The problem with Siri, I think, it's very useful, but a lot of times it has trouble understanding with requests that you have for like Siri. I think that instead of trying to improve on Siri and like trying to build up on it, because they build up on Siri for so long, and now they're replacing Siri with Apple Intelligence, which is more an advanced AI, because Siri has always been AI. It's just the thing with Siri is that it's kind of outdated AI, and so they're moving more toward. I mean, they've always had AI. Like, basically what I'm saying, they had AI on like their MacBook and the iPhones and the iPads and all that shit. It's just they're switching over to a more advanced AI software, rather than just continuing to build up on the Siri. So I think this time around they're just going for like, buy this new iPhone, you have ChatGPT and you have Apple Intelligence, that will help you with your everyday needs and all that stuff, and help you with this and writing and all that. Their marketing is more on Apple Intelligence rather than like the actual phone itself. I feel like that's what it is. I think it's not much on the phone. I mean, there's marketing still on the phone because they're still selling the phone, but I think their marketing is more towards Apple Intelligence. I mean, you see their commercials, you see when they do the keynotes, they're like, "Oh, look, it's Apple Intelligence," and it's like that's basically what they're doing.
The camera
They're
control
trying to sell
functionality in a moment, but before I do that, I just want to talk about the O-Stand 360-degree spin case that I've been using with the iPhone 16 from Taurus. The thing that I love about this is it's not just a case, but an all-in-one solution that offers protection, enhances grip, and doubles as a stand for your phone.
Want me to bet that that's way more than what I got from my current case? Want me to bet that? It's probably a little bit more because it's from Apple. Apple's cases are usually very expensive, and that's why I refuse to buy accessories from Apple. Even with the, for example, with the first generation pencil for the iPads, which I think even the current iPad that I have right now still, I think it does support the first generation pencil. I think that's like 90, almost 100. I think it's $90. Like, you're selling this pencil for $90. Wait, how much is it really? How much is it? I have the Apple Store on my fingertips. Apple Pen. How much is that shit? Apple Pen. The Apple Pencil, the one I just talked about, is actually $128. I was kind of off. It's $128 for a fucking stick. For a fucking stick, you can draw or navigate around with this. You can do basically a bunch of stuff with this pencil. Again, my iPad supports this pencil. I think there's different kinds. No, there's different kind of iPads. Never mind. But yeah, it's like kind of like fucking. Why would I spend $129 on that? It's fucking bullshit. Okay, here's the other one. Here's the other one that you need a charger for. It's $79. It's still a lot, to be honest. Like, and you'll see that for like most of their products. They're very, very extreme. Like their accessories are expensive. It's just insane in my opinion. I think with the let me check for the iPhone 16. iPhone 16 cases. Let's check that out. I think this is the one that my homie was talking about in the video. I think this was the one. No, I don't think so. Because it looks different from the actual video. Because that one has the stand on it, and this one doesn't. But yeah, look at this case, for example. This is why I don't buy cases from the store itself. Like, not even my parents buy from the Apple Store itself, because it adds up. Like, if you were to buy it online right now, for free shipping, I think. Oh no, if you want to get it by tomorrow, you have to spend like $9 for, shipping tomorrow. Like, basically to get this, like, priority shipped like next day. So if you were to calculate, right? Let me get a calculator from my get a calculator here. Calculator. Actually, let me close. My shit's lagging. What the fuck? Alright. So if I pick up the calculator. Alright, here we go. There's calculator. Alright. Because I was going to do it on my phone, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let me do it on here instead. Why does it take long, bro? What the fuck? Okay, here we go. So how much is this case? How much is it? I don't know why I'm doing calculations for it. It's $49 plus 9. You're gonna be spending $58 plus tax just to get this shipped to your house. It's not as bad as, I'll be honest, I mean, it's not as bad as, like, you know, there are other items like the iPhone, like, or the iPads, like the one that I got, which is certified. Okay, the iPad that I do have, it was $250, right? Plus tax, it's like, it came out $276 in total. I think I talked about that like last time. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe I did, maybe I haven't. I probably forgot. But yeah, it's shit's fucking Apple. All I'm saying is that Apple is very expensive. It's not what you think it is. It's fucking. It's always been expensive.
I've been using it constantly while I'm listening to music or podcasts. It's great for watching content, regardless if it's in landscape or portrait mode. And the ring grip makes it super easy to place on non-flat surfaces. On top of that, you get full MagSafe compatibility, it's drop-proof up to 12 feet, and what I was really surprised with is just how thin and light the case is. It's really no different in size than a regular case, and the rounded corners, tactile buttons, and camera control cutout give the case a great feel. Torres offers the O-Stand 360 spin case in a variety of colors for the whole iPhone lineup, along with their Glasgow screen protectors, so please check out the link in the description if you're interested. Now, as far as the actual camera control functionality, there is a lot to unpack there. Pressing on that button will launch your camera app, and you can use it as a shutter button by hard pressing the physical button. You can hold down on it to record.
What amazing ideas do you have buzzing around in your head?
I love
Turn new
ads.
ideas
I love
into
ads.
reality with an Azure free account.
I love ads.
Ah.
I love ads. I love it.
You can hold down on it to record a video, and when you soft press or half press it, it opens up a camera adjustment, which by default will control the zoom. That can then easily be adjusted by moving your finger along the surface of the control button and to go.
I don't like how that control, because I use it myself on the iPhone 16, and it's very I wouldn't say inconvenient. It's just how can I say it, bro? I don't know. It's not useless. It's just the way that it's designed is just not like, it's not that good. They could have designed it in a better way. They could have, I don't know, they could have just made it so that you can just on the screen just go meow meow, move it up and down. It just makes no sense to have that there. That's what I'm saying. Like, let me do it myself real quick. Is it this one? No, it's not. Bro, I can't fucking do it. Oh, it's in spatial. I think it's spatial. No. Is it spatial? No, it's not. No. I forgot how I did it. I forgot how I did it. I did it last time, and yeah, I didn't like it.
to the menu to switch the control that you'd like to adjust, you can do that by double soft pressing it. Within that menu, there's a variety of different things from the regular camera controls like depth and exposure to the all-new style and tone options. My one complaint with this control menu is that when you switch to video mode and bring it up, Apple has actually left all these options within here, and they've just grayed them out or disabled them, which is kind of confusing at first, and I prefer if they just weren't in there. I also find the controls themselves to feel a bit clunky, especially if you're trying to use them for vertical photos with one hand or scrolling through the menu, but I did have a similar feeling with the touch controls on the AirPods Pros when they first came out, so I do just want to give that a bit more time to see if I get used to it. Having said,
yeah, to be fair, I used it one time, so I might just give it some more time and then see how those features will work, you know, like that. We move around like move around that shit.
That if you don't like those controls, you can still use the ones on screen, and Apple did add a style and tone adjustment button in the camera UI.
I'm hoping this motherfucker is like, you can't stream this on your channel, which I don't think he even gives a shit because like he's a bigger channel than me. That motherfucker has like 90k subscribers, bro. I don't think he gives a shit. He's close to like 70, close to 100,000 subscribers. That man up there.
Well, but again, I'm not honestly a huge fan of that one either. With that selected, you're able to swipe through styles or filters by cycling through the viewports, similar to an Instagram filter, but you've also got this little pad on the bottom or side, depending on how you're holding the phone, where you can customize the tone and color. I find that to be extremely sensitive, and I would have preferred if those were just dials. If you're looking to adjust the style and tones within your image, you're much better off just adjusting it through the slider in the camera control, as it's just a lot simpler and more straightforward. When it comes to the physical camera setup, this is still relatively the same as the iPhone 15, as the main camera is a 48 megapixel sensor with an f1.6 aperture just like last year, while the ultra-wide got a slight upgrade with a 12 megapixel sensor and an f2.2 aperture, which does capture a little more light than the f2.4 lens from last year. The glass on both of those lenses do have a slight improvement over the iPhone 15 and the 15 Pro with a new anti-reflective coating to prevent things like flaring. That does make a big difference in the right circumstances, and standard photos off the main lens look great. Again, they have a similar look to them as last year, where you'll get a 24 megapixel image off the main lens that takes the detail from a 48 megapixel image and combines it with the light information from a 12 megapixel binned image to produce an optimized 24 megapixel one. If you take a photo at 2x zoom, that produces a 12 megapixel photo that is essentially cropping in from the main lens, so there's no digital zoom happening there, which is nice. And in those scenarios, you're going to get an HDR optimized.
One thing I can say about the iPhones, I think a lot of people have always said about the iPhone camera, is that there's these black edges that I don't like that. I don't like it that much. That's one thing I can give to Android, is that they don't have black edges like this. I wish that iPhone would not do this ever, like, anymore. Have it so that you can get a full image, or they can make it like this way, right? They can make it so that you can either have a full image, like show everything, or if you don't want to show everything, then just show like, then have this crop like this, right? Have a crop like this. Like make it like an option. Make it like, well, I'm pretty sure they might do that in the future. Who knows? I'm not Apple, but like I'm just saying, like it should be that way. You shouldn't have to try to take a picture on like fucking, you know, you have to take constantly pictures of something, like when you can take the whole thing, right? And not have these black edges there. It's just, I don't know. I guess I know why they're there, but it just, I don't know. Something about it.
Image that brings down blown out or really bright areas of the image and brings up any dark parts. So you will get a clean, crisp image, although it can tend to flatten things out or crush the contrast. To combat that a bit, you can adjust.
The images are looking more crisp every time, I guess because the chip, you know, the chip and technology has become more advanced, but Yeah, the image doesn't look. It looks really good actually. Like actually taking cameras on the phone is really good. On the 12 wasn't bad either, but this is a big improvement.
That with a different tone and styles, and those are all contextually aware. So if you want something that's really vibrant, iOS is smart enough to know to saturate the colors of objects around you in your setting without blowing out your skin color. Playing around with those every time you take a photo obviously isn't ideal, and within the camera app settings you can set a photographic style to default to, but instead of selecting one that exists in the camera app, you have to select 4 photos, which I find doesn't really align to the filters that Apple gives you, so I've just left that off. The nice thing is you can always adjust styles after you've taken a photo in the Photos app, so you don't necessarily have to fiddle with that beforehand. Those styles will apply to the ultra-wide camera as well, where you'll get similar results, and you do see a noticeable improvement in both low-light photos and a little bit in daylight over the iPhone 15 ultra-wide, along with some other added benefits that you didn't have last year. The ultra-wide lens can now shoot macro photos, which was previously only a Pro feature, which is nice to have if that's something that you're into. And that lens also now has autofocus. That won't make a huge difference for photos, but it's likely more helpful.
I think there's one video that I want to react to because, hold on, I'm gonna react to one real quick before I end the stream because I got something to do. I got something to do. Yeah. I don't want to react to anything really crazy. Nope. Nothing controversial. The only controversial that happened was the beginning of the stream. So I don't want anything controversial. little bro was born in 2024. Bro, he missed everything, bro. He missed like World War II, the Revolutionary War. He missed the Trump assassination attempts. He missed bro missed everything, man. Bro missed the entire trilogy of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and Black Ops series, the original Black Ops series. Yeah, bro missed everything, bro. Black Ops 6 makes no sense. Let's see this video. I haven't watched them for a while because I kind of.
What's going on YouTube for us here? Hope you guys are doing well. Nothing about Black Ops 6 makes sense. And it all begins at startup of this game. When you want to play Black Ops 6,
I like how he starts his video with like, "Hey, look, guys, how you doing? You know, this game fucking sucks because it was made within like a year or two." And yeah, it just starts with that. People have like this the same kind of intro, which is like, I'm not saying it's bad. I guess do what you want, bro. It's your videos, your channel, you know, whatever. But I like how everybody has like the intro of like, you know, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, guys. You know, like that kind of energy. Seems kind of fake to me.
No, you have to boot up Call of Duty HQ for some reason and get hit with an ad right away. Please buy the Vault Edition. Please spend more money on this game.
Well, here's one, you know, wow, what a crazy discovery. One reason as to why they do that is because they know that people are going to buy it. That's why they put it all the time, constantly, being like, yo, buy the new Vault Edition, and then they buy it, and then they enjoy it, like $30 more, just to have fun with skins in the video game, like variant skins or whatever, right? And that's why they do it, because it's about making money, man. It's not about the game no more. You can say in the past, like fucking, you know, years ago, back in the heydays, as the homies these days say now, you know, they kind of gave more shit about Call of Duty. Have they always given a shit about Call of Duty? I mean, that's debatable. I mean, I feel like sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, there was more passion in Call of Duty, but I feel like, and if I say this, I sound crazy, but I feel like the industry of gaming in general has gotten so big that it's not even about the games anymore. It's really just about making money. You know, it's more about making money because they're appealing to more people, and if more people are going to buy their stuff, they have no reason to change anything, right? They have no reason to change course because some people don't like what they're doing. I'm not saying this game's not trash, by the way. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this guy's complaining because the game. I agree, this game is not really all that great. Based off of what I played, which is like fucking, it's fun at times, but like, there's just the maps. The maps are so cheap. I don't know. I don't really agree with like the one boom when he tried to say this game's better than like fucking 2019 because the doors and the red dots on the minimap are gone. I feel like he's only saying that because his viewers were like dunking on him for like defending that game, and also 2022, I believe. So he started shooting on that game as well, because I remember back in the day, during Modern Warfare 2's life cycle, wasn't it the beginning, or I think it was the beginning or close to the end, he was like saying this game is pretty decent, it's pretty cool, I enjoy everything about it, right? And then his viewers started like dogpiling on him because he like enjoys the game. That's one. Okay, that's one. Here's Ting, bro. That's one thing that I give props to, like Matsuki. I feel like that guy doesn't give a fuck about people say about him like that much. I mean, he responds to people who say dumb shit, but it's not like if you were to tell him, like, you can tell when somebody values what people think about, somebody, based off of like they change their opinions later on, based off like compared to somebody who has their own opinions and expresses their opinions about something, right? Yeah, of course, you're always gonna have people who agree with you, but like generally speaking, Matsuki doesn't really change for anybody. He changes how he feels about something because that's him genuinely like changing, right? Changing his opinions, and not everybody has that. But yeah, going back to what the one boom was saying. The one boom was saying basically that like he was saying that Modern Warfare 2019 is trash, and how Modern Warfare 2 is trash because there's less content and because they're doubling down on all the terrible decisions they made in 2019, right? Even though the maps in Modern Warfare 2 are more refined, they're not that. The maps in that game are not even all that big, most of them. They're like more refined, they're big, but they're not like big to the point where it's confusing. So I don't see how that game is bad. I mean, the only thing I can see how that game being like underwhelming, that's the best way to put it, is the fact that there was less content. But the only reason why that happened was because they were pushing shit back for the next game afterwards. So it makes it seem like they're putting more effort in the current Call of Duty, which it's not the current Call of Duty, but they really weren't. It was just they were holding stuff that was already been made by Infinity Ward, holding it back for a future Call of Duty at the time. But of course, he's not going to say this because he has to admit that like Infinity Ward does put work into their stuff. It's just that they did a 180 and just push all that stuff back for a future game.
That's what they want you to do. Then you boot into Black Ops 6, and right away you're met with the opportunity to play multiplayer, campaign, or zombies. Of course, you're only here if there was no update, because of course if there was an update it would require restart on Call of Duty HQ, which is nonsensical, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go back to that startup menu. Multiplayer, campaign, or zombies. You can choose to play any of those modes, but heaven forbid you go away for a weekend and you decide to bring your computer, your PlayStation, your Xbox with you to a place that has no internet. This $70 game becomes an absolute brick at that case. Never mind if you bought the Vault Edition, now that $100 game is just a brick. It's a nice little piece of decoration because you can't play any of these modes offline. Does that make any sense? Why is it that they decided to put campaign, zombies, and multiplayer, split screen, all on servers only? Makes no sense. And on top of that, why is it now...
There's probably a reason for that. It's just we don't know what the reason is. But yeah, it is kind of silly for them to switch over, because I remember like all the past Call of Duties, you didn't have to be online to play, like, play offline with like bots on multiplayer, or to play, say, like a side mode, like say Spec Ops or a survival mode, or in Modern Warfare side of things, or on like Treyarch titles. You get to play zombies and you get to play the campaign. Well, the campaign's same for all the previous Call of Duties. Like, I would understand if like you can't play online, because I mean you should be able to play the game that you bought, right? You should be able to play the game you bought, whether if you have internet or not, right? Regardless, you should be able to play offline like the game that you bought. Like at least be able to play the campaign, the offline side of the camp, or there's no offline. It's just campaign, it's just a story. But at least to play zombies and multiplayer offline with like bots or whatever. But yeah, I agree with most of what he said so far. Like the first point that he jotted down was the terrible UI in Call of Duty HQ, which is like, it's annoying to navigate around that fucking thing. It's like I'm trying to go to Black Ops 6 and then I have to go through all these million different fucking. I mean, I'm not gonna try to oversaturate. Like basically, you get to go press on just the Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Then of course they have Warzone around there somewhere and all that jazz. But then then you have the campaign, then you have zombies, and you have now they have ranked on there because they just added it. They have all these game modes. At least it doesn't take that long. I'll give it's a little bit shorter, but it's still kind of bullshit that they have this UI still in Call of Duty anyway.
That zombies and campaign have packet bursts built into them, because of course they do. The same way that packet burst is running rampant across multiplayer.
That's because Activision has never updated their servers. I don't think that has anything to do with the developers. I think developers have like a single direct involvement in like the server side of things. The developers who are in charge of that are I think it's isn't it Raven Studios? I think it's Raven Studios that are in charge of like the servers and all that, and I guess Warzone too. So they're in charge of all that shit. Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer Games, they're in charge of like making the games themselves. They're not in charge of like the servers. But yeah, Activision has not invested money at all into like updating the servers, which is another thing that's just like the reason why we're having so many problems with this is just the servers are too fucking old. Like they're probably from 2003 or maybe like a little bit further up the timeline or whatever. They're extremely old. I don't think that skill-based matchmaking that is causing packet burst problems or whatever. It's just they're too old. They're too goddamn old servers, bro. I mean, a lot of other games don't have the same problems because they don't take their servers and they invest money into new servers, but Call of Duty's the only one that hasn't done that I know of.
But they'll never talk about it. They'll never mention that maybe it's their fault. No. It's their incompetency and their laziness that has led us to this point.
I don't think it's incompetence and laziness. I think it has to do with the fact that they just like I guess they don't want to invest money into like servers and whatnot. So I guess I wouldn't say it's laziness. I would just say they don't really give a fuck, to be honest, because they know the problem is people buy the game, and all these problems are still there. So if people were to not buy the game, which again, it's like it's like trying to get a whole cow to move from one part of the field to the next part of the field, it's not gonna fucking move. It's fucking a huge ass cow, and it's never gonna move, right? It's gonna stay there, and then when it decides to move, because the cow has a mind of its own, then the cow moves. That's the community is the cow. The community has not moved and said we're not gonna buy Call of Duty this year and this time because Activision has not met our demands. We want Call of Duty to be like this and etc., whatever, right? They have all like the dotted lines of what Call of Duty should not be, right? But the community hasn't done that. They're just like, I'm gonna buy the new Call of Duty. I'm gonna pay for the new Vault Edition bundle, whatever the heck it's called, which I'm never gonna spend $100 on that shit. But it's the community. It's like, I don't want to get too political here. It's like when it comes to voting, right? Like, you tell them, don't vote for this politician, right? You recommend don't vote for this politician. You don't vote for them because of whatever it is, reason it is, right? Whether if it's like cultural issues, whether if it's certain policy you don't like about them or whatever you don't agree with. But they still vote for that person anyways, right? It's different situations with the same concept. It's the people, right? You can also argue that, like, since it's about money, I mean, they're of course they're not gonna give a shit because people are still giving money to them, right? That's the problem. It's not that they're just lazy because they don't want to do anything. It's more like people are spending money on a game that they know that they're not going to enjoy, but they do it anyways. And I'm sure XD Veracity knows this because he did talk about this. Like, he said in the past that, like, people keep buying the same game over and over again. It comes with the same problems, right? So he knows this, but I don't know why he's trying to, like, put all the blame on, like, developers when they're doing exactly what the community wants, which is, like, buying the same game every year with all the same problems, with a bunch of useless changes, and call it a day. That's pretty much it. When it comes to that. Another thing too is that they keep changing the designs of the game, they keep changing the map design, they keep changing a bunch of like features and whatnot. And the community still complains. That's one thing I don't understand, right? The community wants change. At the same time, they don't. They want most things to be. They want the game to be easy to navigate around. Like they want the overall experience of the game to be easy. They don't want it to be different because for it to be different, then they would have to adjust to how the game's designed. So people don't like that. They're like, I don't want to change for the way this game's designed because that's not how I want to play it. I want to play the way I want to play it, and that's it. That's just fine with that because I bought this game for like $60, $70 or whatever. I do understand that, but at the same time, I feel like if there's a lot of other people who like what they see, which unfortunately there are a lot of people who are enjoying this game, but I'm not gonna bother about it. I'm like, whatever, if you enjoy Call of Duty Black Ops 6, that's all good. But that's what I mean is that it's hard for developers to cater to a specific group of people in the community because everybody wants different things. And it's just it's fucking hard to do that. It's fucking hard to come to one thing that everybody agrees on, that Call of Duty should be this certain way or whatever. It's not easy. I've always said this. I've literally always said this.
Or investing in fixing it. Why don't they? Well, that at least makes a little bit of sense because you guys keep incentivizing them, which makes no sense why you do it. You're just buying AI skins. And while we're talking about AI, we can talk about these maps. Because I believe that parts of these maps were developed by AI. Parts of this game were developed by AI.
The proof for this, I don't know where. I love it when people try to say, oh, they used AI to make this, they used AI to make that. Like, if you're going to... at least he's saying, I believe. It's not that he's saying, I know. I just hate it when people try to say that, I know for sure this game was designed by AI. How? Do you have evidence? Do you have photographic video proof? Do you have insider sources? Do you have people who worked in these studios who know how they used AI to make these maps? No, I don't think you do. I don't really think you do. At least he's saying, I believe, not that he's saying, I know, because how can you know something you don't know? Right? You can only go based off what you see. You can't go based off of, like, I have evidence, right? You can't just go like, I I think, but not I know. I think maybe.
AI. That's not even a bit of a conspiracy theory. That's the truth.
No, I changed my mind now. No. It is a conspiracy theory. You don't have evidence for this. You just have, I think, maybe, possibly. There could be a possibility that parts of these maps are made by AI. But let's see what evidence he has. Because I doubt that. I doubt this guy has any evidence for that.
It plays like it. There's aspects of this game that feel hollow because of AI integration. And it makes no sense why we decided to do that. And then we get to the actual gameplay. And what makes no sense about this gameplay is how...
Oh my god. I can't believe he took, like, how many seconds? He took, like, maybe 4 seconds to talk about that. How... The thing is that if you were to make a claim like that, at least have some proof! Don't just say, like, oh, parts of these maps are probably made by AI guys. That's not proof. That's not proof. That's nothing. That is not proof. You're just in the heat of the moment, which I understand. You know, like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 sucks. There's so many. I'm not saying I like the maps. I don't like the maps in these games, right? Most of these maps fucking suck ass, and probably getting better over time or whatever. But you can't make a claim like that and then just gloss over to the next point. Like at least have something. At least have, like, I don't know, a trusted source or something. But this guy has nothing. He just has, I pull out of my ass. That's all he has.
Consistently inconsistent it is. And as a result, it infuriates us, frustrates us, and makes us never want to play again. But then, we also decide to make the dumb decision to continue to play. Which makes no sense because we have all of this evidence in front of us to say, there's no reason to play again. Skill-based matchmaking is here, engagement-optimized matchmaking, some people believe skill-based damage is here, all of these reasons...
Skill-based damage, they're bringing it up again, which is like kinda... Come on. Let's not bring up skill-based damage, because the evidence that they had for that was... I don't know. They had, like, I don't know, Activision's patent or whatever. That's all they really had. That's really all they had. That's all they had. They didn't have anything. Okay, which is like kind of... They didn't have any evidence for that. They just kind of just had, like, oh, this article was saying so, or these YouTube, or these, you know, these people from Twitter were explaining how it works and that it's in the game. Also, like, people, like, this was like during Modern Warfare 2, right? There were people who would take videos of, like, you know, apparently their aim is like tilting, like, to the opposite direction of rather actually than directly aiming at the enemy or whatever. Would it, and Black Ops 2 had this same problem. Don't act like Black Ops 2 didn't have the same problem, because Black Ops 2 did have the same problem. So the problem with the game, it isn't skill-based skill-based damage or skill-based damage or whatever, right? Or is it skill-based damage? No, I think it was calling it was skill-based damage. I think it was called skill-based damage, right? So maybe he's mentioning something else. He's mentioning skill-based damage. I don't think that it's skill-based. Wait, hold on. Let me look back again, because I'm getting a little ahead of myself right now. Hold on.
Matchmaking is here, engagement-optimized matchmaking, some people believe skill-based damage is here.
Yeah, they didn't really have enough evidence to prove that there's actual skill-based damage in this game. They kind of just had, like, I don't know, like a video of Blame Truth going into the firing range in Modern Warfare 2, and apparently that's proof? No. You can't just go to, like, you can't just go to firing range and shoot a bunch of dummies and then call that proof of skill-based damage. That I'm sorry, that's not like proof. That's not actual proof. Like, if anybody really thought that was proof, you're unbelievably dumb to think that's proof. Because that's not proof, guys. That's not proof at all. That's just you're just like, oh, it's true because this YouTuber said it. That's why I don't entertain these things, because it's just hearsay. It's just gossip, misinformation, conspiracy theories. Like Alex Jones, kind of like conspiracy theories, basically.
All of these reasons tell us we shouldn't play. The entire system is rigged. It's inorganic. It's inauthentic. And as a result, we should not waste our time on it. But we still do. Because Activision is a very smart company, and they've found ways to trick your brain to get you addicted to this game that...
Oh my god, this guy is so stupid! This guy is so stupid. This guy is actually a moron. The whole point of you selling the game is for you to play the game more. Well, I guess Activision's effort, I guess it still works, but I guess just not do it because some people don't like it. I don't know, man. I don't know. And like I said before, they don't really provide much evidence. They just read Activision patents. You think that reading through entire pages of Activision patents proves your dogshit point that the game is rigged? I'm sorry, but no, it does not. You're just reaching and you're trying to find little clues, like if you're fucking Blue's Clues, to like find something that kind of proves your point. Which in all the shit that you read with like the parameters and the fucking numbers, like fucking algebra or whatever they're doing with that fucking, you know, the Activision patents, there's nothing there that is tangible that you can use as actual proof. Like if you were to go to court with that shit, right? Like let's just say that's actually legal. You have like a manipulative fucking matchmaking system in Call of Duty, right? If skill-based matchmaking was illegal, hypothetically speaking, I'm saying hypothetically because, you know, it's not really like illegal. It's like if it was illegal, it wouldn't be in gaming in general. But let's just say, actually no, a better example would be, let's just say you have a case of the matchmaking being very unfair towards player base, right? Let's say you have a case for that, right? You're gonna go in court and have them sit down and watch video after video after video after video of skill-based damage or skill-based matchmaking or skill-based whatever. They're gonna watch those videos and then they're gonna have you read or have them read through a million different pages of proof, quote unquote, of skill-based matchmaking being rigged. They say, oh, they try to get you into like, you know, like even playing field so that nobody has competition, which you can't say for certain that is actually a thing that's happening, right? Yeah, sure, you're gonna end up getting into lobbies with people who are more skillful than you are. Because ain't that the whole point of playing any video game, whether if you say that it's casual or not? Because Call of Duty used to be casual. I feel like gaming in general used to be casual. It's just that now with the marketing of esports and all that, Call of Duty and even Halo, for example, all these other games have started to become more competitive because of the esports. Right? It has nothing to do with manipulative skill-based matchmaking. It has everything to do with the push and marketing for, guess who? Guess what? For esports. And you're going looking for clues. Like, you're not fucking Blue's Clues. You're just some random guy on the internet who complains about Call of Duty constantly, and yet nothing changes. Things just get worse every year, and you're still complaining about Call of Duty. Like, oh my god, bro! I feel like this guy is just doing this just to get views. Like that's why I feel, because every time I watch his video, he makes some good points. I'm not sitting here saying he makes no good points. He makes some good points. I just feel like this entire video is just for him to start crying about where's skill-based matchmaking, where's skill-based hit detection, where's skill-based. Like, come on, man. Like, you're just repeating the same thing you heard from, like, Blame Truth, from the Ghost of 8, from Why So Serious, that shitty-ass channel that should be a stain. It shouldn't be a channel platform or whatever. It should be... it should be gone. Nobody should listen to them, though. These channels just rage bait for views. And I know that this man's like that because he makes some good points. I feel like he has potential to be a better channel, in my opinion. It's just every video is just him just being like, Call of Duty bad because conspiracy theory skill-based matchmaking. All he has is just conspiracy theory, and he heard something on Twitter, and he saw something on, I don't know, the Activision patents. He saw something from somewhere, someplace, somehow. And that's it, right? That's it. And I know, of course, I'm not gonna gloss over that one video that he made about it was Activision's data on trying to, like, I guess defend skill-based matchmaking, because no matter what, here's the thing, bro. No matter what Activision does, if Activision tries to prove that skill-based matchmaking is not that deep, and you know it ain't that big of a deal, you're just crying like a little bitch because you're not that good at the game, and it's funny because they get so mad when you tell it to their face, like, you're not good at the game, you suck balls, and just own up to it. Just be a man, be like, yeah, I suck at the game, right? XD Ferocity, all these channels hate with a burning passion when you point out that they're bad at Call of Duty, when you point out that they're not as good as they think they are in Call of Duty, and then prop themselves up as like, I'm actually above average, I am better than all these people who are being sheltered into like a corner, like into fucking, you know, easy lobbies or whatever, to have a good time. You're propping yourself up as a good player when in reality you're not that good, which is okay, right? You don't have to be the biggest, baddest guy in town or whatever, right? But if your complaint around Call of Duty is just finding excuses like, oh, it's the hit detection, oh, it's skill-based hit detection, oh, it's skill-based matchmaking, oh, it's skill-based this, oh, it's the turd on my screen that's making me have a bad time, oh, it's Bobby Kotick constantly fucking showing up on my screen, oh, it's Chris Hansen on my screen. I know that Chris Hansen is a cool guy because he exposes pedophiles, but I ain't trying to see that shit in Call of Duty. It's the problem with the community is that they find excuses to appeal to the same people who like already hate on Call of Duty and try to find any excuse to be like, oh, I'm having a bad time, so Call of Duty sucks, guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's exactly the play. That's how they get views. And if you're telling me that I am wrong and you want to debate me on it, or whatever, like, I guess try to debate me on it, but you're still gonna be wrong. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You're still gonna be wrong. But yeah, I've been just rambling on and on about all this stuff.
You may like, you may not love. You definitely like aspects of it. You definitely hate other aspects of it. Similar to all of the TikToks or Instagram Reels you watch. You like some of them, you hate others, but it's okay. The algorithm will fix things so that it can lock you into it longer, so you mindlessly continue to scroll. It's the same thing with Call of Duty. They want you mindlessly shooting these AI skin bots that are running rampant in the game. And I'm not advocating that there's bots here in Black Ops 6, but what I mean is...
You kind of were, though. You kind of were, not indicating, what was the word? You were kind of insinuating that there's AI bots in this game, that even parts of the maps were made by AI. So you're contradicting yourself, bro. Contradicting yourself already, bro. You were kind of insinuating that already, bro. What are we talking about? I I'm not trying to insinuate there's AI bots in this game, AI bot skins in this game, guys. No, never once tried to make that argument, guys.
They don't really care who the person that you're shooting at is. There's no community here anymore.
Because Call of Duty, just like any other video game, just like even music, for example, right? You think that music is... You think that artists are going to appeal to the same people? I mean, obviously it depends. Like, if there's an artist, for example, that appeals to the group that is not, like, growing, like, it's not, like, getting bigger and bigger and bigger over time. Because I feel like there's some artists that I know of that have gotten really big over time, and they try to change up their style because they're appealing to a more wider audience of people. And I could name some. But like I said before, bruh, they never try to appeal to the same people because it is about money, right? Whoever's gonna bring them the most amount of money, they're gonna continue to market towards those people. That's why I tell Matsuki's getting all mad and all, you know, butthurt over like skins in Call of Duty and how all the skins in Call of Duty, they're so cartoonish. And like, I mean, you have the right to complain about them. I'm not saying don't. I mean, it's your content or whatever. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. But like, complaining about it constantly and having that as like your bullet point as like one of the really bad things about Call of Duty, you're just wasting your time because they're never gonna listen to you. Like, that's why I always say, like, if you're just one person with a small community, they're not gonna take you seriously. They're gonna just gloss over, being like, whatever. This guy's just being a bitch and just complaining about bullshit. And we're here making money, and this guy is wasting his time complaining about bullshit in the video game. Who fucking cares? I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that as like that's the reality. That's just the reality of like, you know, the business in general. It's in the business lens. They don't care what you think. Just like these fast food companies don't care that the food they're selling is unhealthy, right? Because they're gonna continue to sell fast food, garbage food to you because they know you're gonna buy it. They know you're gonna buy it. They know you're gonna eat the food or whatever. So people using the argument is like, people will buy junk food. You know, they're just getting themselves fat. Like, do you think the companies really care about your health? They really don't. They're why you fucking be fat, obese, having, you know, diabetes, and end up in the hospital and having to take 1 million injections until the day you die. Basically, just killing you slowly until you die. That's what I'm saying. They don't care. Not even the fucking, not even these doctors, professional doctors care about your health. Really, they claim to. I'm not sure how conspiratorial about that shit, but like, my point is that nobody gives a shit. That's my whole point. Is that if you keep making the same videos, jotting down the same points over and over again, they're not going to care what you think. They're not going to care what Exy Veracity thinks. They're not going to care what Ghost Faith thinks. They're definitely not going to care what Blaine Truth thinks. They're not going to care what Fully thinks. They're not going to care what 402 Thunder thinks. They're not going to care what any of these channels think about Call of Duty, like Gilmore, right? Gilmore and all these people, they do this for views and for money. They do this for money. Which, I'm not saying it's bad to make money. It's just, you want to lie and then nitpick on top of nitpicking and having some good points and then nitpicking again. They do it. It's clear as day to do it for views. It's clear as day to do it for money. Which, I mean, it's their team, bro. Like, if you want to do that, whatever, right? But to act as if you were to boycott Call of Duty, because they tried during Modern Warfare 2, I think. They tried to boycott Call of Duty back in that time. They tried. They legitimately tried. And guess what? It didn't work. They tried telling everybody, boycott Modern Warfare 2, boycott this game, boycott this next Call of Duty, do not buy it. Guess what? It didn't work, because people still bought the games anyway. And then here, Matsuki made his last video, which I did like his last video on like the Black Ops 6, the review went out, at least in first impressions, right? I don't think telling people don't pre-order, because here's the thing, when you tell people don't pre-order, they're going to look at that video and be like, this guy is just fucking mad because this game exists and because it has all those things I want for the game, so why should I listen to him? I'm going to buy the game, I'm going to pre-order the game. I don't really care what this guy says, I don't give a shit. That's what I mean. If you tell people don't pre-order the game, don't buy the game, and you explain why they shouldn't pre-order buy the game, they're not gonna. Some of them are probably gonna be convinced, right? Probably some of them are gonna be convinced, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't buy the game because there's gonna be a million problems that they're gonna fix, right? But then there's the other. There's a more wider audience that's not gonna give a shit or know where your channel is, right? I'm not trying to say this to be mean, of course. I'm not trying to be mean about this, but it's just reality is that nobody cares. Nobody really cares. And it's clear as day. Every new Call of Duty comes out, there's always something that people are going to complain about. There's always some bullshit that happens to Call of Duty. There's always something, right? That's what I always mean when I say, like, you know, if you can do it, you can make this kind of content if you want to, but if you want to make this kind of content, you know, complaining about the same garbage over and over and over again, and then nothing changes, that's your content, that's your channel. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop talking about it because, like, how you disagree with me. Oh my god, that's my opinions. My feelings are hurt, guys. You know, because I say the truth and I'm being honest. And skill-based matchmaking is a problem, and Call of Duty has become so big. And oh my god, like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep calling these motherfuckers out and saying, y'all motherfuckers need to, like, you know, critique Call of Duty for the right things. Not constantly with skill-based matchmaking, going all these crazy-ass conspiracy theories, to then be like, it's not because I'm bad at the game, it's because the game is rigged, guys. The game is rigged because I have the evidence in my butthole. It's so simple to blame everything else, but to, like, acknowledge that maybe I'm not that good, and it's okay to not be as good in the video game. Cause you have fun by playing with your friends, regardless of whether you win or lose. Because it just feels like to me that they're getting mad because they're constantly losing. I don't think it's actually about having a good time. I feel like it's more about, I'm losing constantly, I'm not getting kills, I'm not getting W's, so I'm just going to cry on YouTube or on Twitter or on Instagram about just not winning. If anybody tells me otherwise, you're not listening to what they're actually saying. Because every argument is just, I'm not winning. Even though they say that, oh no, I don't want to always win. I just want to have a good time. Stop lying, bro. You just are mad because you can't win. You can't get a single W. Because I guess that's the whole point of playing. Not the whole point. The whole point is playing the objectives is to win these objectives in Call of Duty. It's always been like that. I don't get how you have to have fun by always winning. I always have to win. If I don't win every lobby, I'm not having a good time. I get the feeling of, like, if you lose, it fucking sucks. People just take it. That's one thing I agree with the Ghost of 8 on. People take this game way too seriously. It always has to be, I want to win because I want to feel that I'm having a good time. When you can have a good time whether you're winning, losing, or not. I don't think it even fucking matters if you win or lose. Blame Truth makes that same point constantly. So why is it that he's complaining about skill-based matchmaking and saying that it's a problem when he's like, it doesn't matter if you win or lose in this game. I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. I think I'm probably boring you guys because, you know, some of y'all will be like, I'm gonna leave because guys rambling on about the same thing. But hold on, bros. Yeah, hold on, bros, hold on.
Feeling of connection to anything. They've eroded that away, whether it's through their AI monitoring of text and chat. Like, why? It makes no sense. Why you do that is to rate them for maturity.
Well, the reason why they do that, if I'm gonna be quite honest, is because people don't know when to, like, not say things that they shouldn't say about people, especially being derogatory or being offensive towards people. Like, I don't know, maybe calling them like basically, how can I say it? Like being homophobic, for example, right? Using homophobic slurs directed towards people, or saying racial stuff towards people, like basically being like, like the whole thing about, like, for example, right? For example, the whole thing with the Haitians, right? If you were to, if there was a Haitian in the lobby, right? If it was like a couple of Haitians in the lobby, right? In the lobby in Call of Duty, right? And then this fucking greasy ass motherfucker Trump supporter comes out of nowhere and just starts saying like, "Well, the Haitians, right? They all eat cats and dogs, and you know they shouldn't be in America because they eat cats and dogs. You know, I seen the evidence, I seen the proof from Donald Trump that you're eating cats and dogs." Like, because that kind of rhetoric is the reason as to why Activision, they shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't have to put fucking, you know, monitoring chat bullshit. If people were to just fucking chill out, right? But no, I guess that's just Activision being woke, quote unquote. Even though there's a reason behind them having it in Call of Duty anyway. I don't see Matsuki talking about it because I don't think he doesn't even care about that stuff, to be honest. Like, you have to be a really strange individual to care about that kind of shit.
Why would you want to moderate what people are saying? Who cares if little Timmy got his feelings hurt? Maybe a 12-year-old shouldn't be playing a game.
I think another thing that comes with that too is if you're, you know, threatening somebody with, like, I don't know, DDoSing, or if you're gonna threaten somebody with, like, I don't know, because there's situations that have happened where somebody gets swatted in their house, or somebody gets, like, something bad happens, right? Somebody gets shot because somebody lost a game, right? That's happened before, right? A person gets shot by another person because they lost the game, or because they lost the game, they feel that's rigged or whatever, and they go to that person's house, they find their IP address, they go to that person's house to fucking shoot them, which is another reason why they probably could have put the chat monitoring thing on Call of Duty, is to prevent these situations from happening again. Again, these people don't use their brains, man. They don't use their brains. Oh my god. XD Rossi, I know you're smarter than this. I know that you're fucking. I'm not saying, like I say, you're a genius, because nobody's a real genius, you know, whatever. But you're smarter than this, man. Why do you even talk about this? Why does it even matter if they monitor what you say in Call of Duty? If you're not gonna say anything that's offensive, if you're not gonna say anything that's fucking racist, homophobic, whatever, why care? Why care so much? That's what I don't get.
Rated M for mature. Maybe his feelings aren't able to handle the words that other people say.
Oh yeah, racist, Nazi, homophobic bullshit. Yeah. You know, being hated because you are who you are in a video game. I guess you could make an argument that it may not be as serious, you know, making jokes, but I feel like there's a limit. There's like a point where you're taking things too far. You know what I mean? There's a point where it's not just you just saying words towards somebody. It becomes, you know, more aggressive over time. Somehow. You know what I mean? You have to look at things in a way where it's like understanding why these things exist, why monitoring chat exists, why they got rid of the being able to customize your emblem and your calling card, because people put a lot of nasty shit on calling cards and emblems, shit like that. And I think even trying to filter that shit out doesn't really like alleviate, or not alleviate the problem. It doesn't eliminate the problem anyway, because people will always find loopholes into putting whatever nasty bullshit, like Nazi stuff, corn stuff, or whatever heck, in Call of Duty, right? In Call of Duty emblems and calling cards. But when it comes to chat monitoring, it's not just about a little Timmy gets his or her feelings hurt about, like, somebody saying something to them. It also comes with, like, harassment, sexual misconduct, a bunch of stuff. This guy is not looking into any of this stuff. I know that it happens across the board no matter what, but I feel like even in Call of Duty, they're at least trying to, like, put something there that they shouldn't have to put, because people just fucking do things that they shouldn't be doing in Call of Duty. I know it's just a video game, but I don't think that is that deep that they're putting like a chat monitoring on a video game. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that deep.
And what's crazy? And I've said this before. There's this thing called the mute button that was invented like back in 2005 that you can utilize as well without.
I guess that can help. I mean, I understand that, but I feel like at the same time, there are situations where it goes further than just like you mute somebody and that's it. I don't know. I don't think that you can use that as like a gotcha. Like, oh, you can just simply mute the person. I don't know. Maybe they can go further than that. I don't know. Maybe they can, send a hate mob to your fucking house or something like that, or fucking, the internet or something like that.
Having this and eroding away the entire.
I guess we're gonna ignore, creating stereotypes of people and how that could be detrimental to marginalized groups. I guess we're just gonna ignore all that. I guess just continue to say more racist shit. Continue to say more off the wall shit towards people, because back in the day we used to be able to say it, and nowadays gaming is woke, guys. Because this is what I hate about this community. This is why I disdain about this community. It's just the gaming is woke because they're monitoring chat. There's probably a reason as to why they do it.
Community aspect of Call of Duty. So, back to the original point though, what Activision has essentially done is they've made your enemies pointless. It doesn't matter who you play against, because next match you're re-rolled through the algorithm to find the next batch of faceless AI enemies. And again, they're not AI. I'm not advocating for that, but this community certainly is. There are members of this community that believe that AI bots are running rampant through multiplayer. Yet again, after this entire conspiracy theory first surfaced last year.
Yeah, you should just treat it as a conspiracy theory and stop entertaining this obvious conspiracy theory. Let's just not do that, please.
But why is it that it's constantly only happening in Call of Duty, pardon me? It's because nobody talks from Activision, except for one guy, Matt Scrons, and that's it. But he's not going to sit there and talk about AI bots. He's got bigger fish to fry.
Why would they talk about something that's not even in the game and it's just a bunch of conspiracy theories? Like, I don't understand what you want them to do. It's funny because the AI bots that Blaine Truth talk about in like 1 funny enough, these were bots that were purchased by people who play the game. Like, meaning they went to a third-party site to pay for ID Elite bots, right? Like basically bots that like move around on their own to be able to get XP, right? And Blaine Truth showed that, but he tried to insinuate that it was from Activision, right? He doesn't have proof that it's from Activision. He just pulled out his ass and he went through fucking tweets on Twitter, used it as proof. Proof where, right? So again, why would they talk about something that is just conspiracy theories? Because this guy is just getting into conspiracy theory territory, and it's just so annoying. It's just so fucking annoying that he's going into conspiracy theory territory to like basically try to insinuate that, oh, there's probably AI bots and they're probably from Activision, and Activision, that's what he's trying to insinuate. He's trying to insinuate that there's AI bots and Activision is not going public about it, because there's nothing to go public about if the AI bots are not even from Activision. They're from third-party sites, most likely. Like, I don't understand how you can try to prove a point that like Call of Duty's dying because AI bots. They've done these things so many times. They went through all this bullshit of like, there's AI bots. Oh, skill-based matchmaking is making you have a bad time. Then they alluded to skill-based hit detection. They alluded to skill-based damage, skill-based whatever they want to make up in their head that they think is true, and then have maybe evidence of it in a video, in like a 13-second video, on a 5-second video or whatever. That's not evidence. That's just you trying to find a problem there that could be easily explained by terrible connection or terrible netcode, or the fact that the aim assist is probably bugged or something like that, right? But no, I guess it has to do with skill-based matchmaking, apparently. I guess it doesn't have to do with the fact that the servers are too goddamn old and never updated them. No. That's what they used to say. But now with these conspiracy theories, which seems like a lot of them came from Alex Jones, long lost brother. This is where we're at right now. We're at conspiracy theory territory in the Call of Duty community, which is like, it's annoying.
Now, why on earth do we have recon in this game? And why there hasn't been a proper fix to it? Oh no, we've just reduced it by a second here, by half a second there. Like, that's gonna make a difference. Just eliminate it altogether. But why is it that this game, this franchise, used to have such a thriving community, such a good relationship with the developers?
Because the community was smaller compared to nowadays, where Call of Duty, just like any other franchise, when they get to a certain point, just become a massive franchise, and they're worth billions of dollars. And like, I don't get how it's hard for them to understand that the community has gotten bigger over time. And I said that. I said this is like, the community has gotten bigger over time, and you have, people who, you have all these groups of people who want different things. One wants Call of Duty to be fast-paced and the maps to be easy to navigate. You have another side of the community who wants the maps to be big and for you to be able to like move around and be able to find players or whatever. Not like, basically make it more like less like make the maps less predictable, right? Then you have the other side of the community who just kind of doesn't care to just play whatever Call of Duty that is new and whatnot. Then you have the other side of the community who just constantly hates everything and anything about Call of Duty, no matter what. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, the community is filled with people with diverse, mixed opinions about Call of Duty. Just like in any franchise, just like when it comes to presidencies, when it comes to taste in music, when it comes to movies, when it comes to books, when it comes to literally anything, when literally anything gets bigger to a certain point, there's going to be a much wider audience of people who want different things. It's not an exclusive Call of Duty thing, and it's a general thing that is going to happen regardless. When a small game becomes extremely successful and it's worth billions of dollars, they're not going to cater to the same people. They're going to cater to a new, wider audience of people. That's just simple to explain. I don't know, that's hard to understand.
Care. But they've eroded that away by having arrogant developers, like what happened with Infinity Ward and MW2 2022.
No, they weren't arrogant. It's just that they were catering to a group of people who liked what they saw in 2019. They're not arrogant. I don't understand how a developer can be arrogant, cater. I guess by that logic, you can say that Treyarch is arrogant for making Call of Duty games that maybe a lot of people don't enjoy, right? Making Black Ops Cold War the way that Black Ops Cold War did, because of, I don't know, or maybe because of like Black Ops 3 or whatever you want to pluck your ass or whatever, right? I guess you can say literally any game you don't like, just made by incompetent developers who don't know what they're doing because you don't like the way the games are designed. You don't like the type of, like, basically the game. You don't like what type of community they're catering to, right? I don't get how that's them being arrogant if they're literally doing a lot of the things that they've already done in the past to cater to that side of the community. I don't get how that's arrogance. I don't get how that's incompetence. I don't get how that's anything if they're just doing what made them successful to begin with, which, regardless of whether you think Modern Warfare 2019 is bad and has, problems or whatever, or terrible netcode, or the maps are too large, or there's no red dots on the mini-map, or dead silence as a field upgrade is a terrible idea because you have to wait a couple of seconds, which is not even that long, it's a couple of seconds to just activate the dead silence field upgrade. Regardless of all of that, the game still made actors a lot of money. And they saw that and they were like, we're going to do the same thing with the next Call of Duty, and next Call of Duty, and next Call of Duty, and next Call of Duty. So they're banking off of the success of their original Modern Warfare 2019 because that game made them the most money. I don't get how that's Infinity Ward being arrogant. I don't get how that's Activision being arrogant if they are doing what makes them the most money. I don't know. I don't understand how you can hate a developer who is just doing what's making their company more money. Because that's technically part of their job. It's not just making a game. It's about making a game that they know that's going to make Activision more money because they work for Activision. So at the end of the day, you can have this opinion. You can think that Infinity War is like a fucking demon or whatever. But I'm sorry, you're kind of wrong on this point. You're kind of wrong. Not kind of. You're very wrong at this point, actually.
And now we're in a situation where, again, we deal with a faceless corporation. Whenever there's an issue, they just send something generic out on Call of Duty updates and call it a day. Maybe they'll leak something to Charlie Intel or Modern Warzone, and they'll pick it up and send it to their...
Like, look, bro, I'm gonna get off here.
But they don't want...
I'm off here because I'm so sick and tired of this fucking bullshit. I'm not disagreeing with some of his points. Like, yeah, there's definitely problems with Call of Duty, but I feel like he over-obsesses with problems that don't exist. He over-obsesses with trying to shit on Infinity Ward and trying to shit on this, trying to shit on that. He's over-obsessing with all these things that aren't really issues. And in fact, he's just mad because I guess he can't get a single win in Call of Duty or whatever. And that's the vibe that I'm getting in this video. He's just mad because he can't have a good time with this game because he's constantly losing. And he's just finding an opportunity to be like, oh, Infinity Ward ruined Call of Duty forever with 2019, even though Infinity Ward made Activision way more money at that time when that game came out. Yeah, sure, Modern Warfare 2 did bad, but that was only because the lacking of content in that game. It had nothing to do with the design of the game. I'm keeping it a buck. But yeah, I'm going to end off here, and I've been kind of like rambling a lot, but if you guys did enjoy this stream, I know that I've kind of started screaming. It's just that he makes a lot of dog shit points I don't agree with, and that's why I'm just kind of, it's fucking annoying, bro. But hopefully y'all have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or maybe next video, or if you guys want me to do this kind of streams like this, I mean, I would be glad to make streams like this. You know, like talk casually, maybe have a time where I can game with somebody on Minecraft or whatever, because I have Minecraft on here. Yeah, I have Minecraft on here. I have Minecraft Java Edition. So if you want to play that, we can play that. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'll see you guys in the next stream.